Okay, hi. Good afternoon, everybody. I just saw where someone chatted and said it's past 4 p.m. I apologize. I'm still at work, so I needed to sort out some things before coming online. So I can't see anybody yet, but I'm here. So we're going to be talking about. I said I was going to share a free ebook for us, but I want to talk about a bit about it before I just send it in. So most of the things I'm going to be seeing here is actually in that book. Hi, Gochi. Hi, it's good to have you here. I hope you can hear me because my voice is a little bit low. Okay, I can see a lot of people are coming. If I'm, do you want to come live with me? I don't mind because your you're sending an invitation. I can invite you to come live. It's fine. Good to have you here. It's been quite a while. Hi, Foma. And I'm here. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about why emotional intelligence matters to the success of your child. I've spoken about this some time ago, but I looked at the course, the upcoming course, and I thought I needed to also touch on this. Is a guide for parents to show that EQ has greater impact on the success of your child, apart from just IQ. Of course, we're focused on IQ. I've seen a lot of the times that parents are more interested in the education. Hi, Steve Obaji. It's good to have you here, sir. I'm focused on education and every other thing. And then we forget the social part, the emotional intelligence part, the mental health part, and then our children just, keep going. So I'm going to be sharing a guide for parents to show that EQ is actually greater, has greater impact on your child. Hi, Mohammed! Yay! So that it has greater impact on your child, than any other person. So as a way of introducing myself, let me not take this introduction for granted. My name is Wendy Ologe, a parent coach, and the author of the book Connect to Correct. In an event sometime last week, I introduced myself and I said the author of the book Correct Correct. I was corrected and said the best-selling parenting book. So I like to also stick to that. All right. So if you don't have a copy, I think you should get one. All right. So this is not about Connect to Correct anyway. I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. I have the aim to actually equip parents. Hi baby, hi Akuna, how now? To actually equip parents, to tell them that parenting is something that should be learned and not just something that we should just, live, our lives, that way. And you agree with me that a lot of the times when you become intentional about your parenting, you find out that a lot of things change, a whole lot change, and then you become a lot more aware of the things you do around your children. Sometime 2 weeks ago, I was going to share this. I haven't had time to actually put it down in text. We were in church and we were told that children were not supposed to get access to some food that was around there anyway that was being shared. A woman walked up to my children and said, "Oh, you just have some. It doesn't matter. They said children should not have it, but it doesn't matter." My children said, "Oh, thank you." And the woman looked at me. I said, "No, thank you, ma'am. They're not going to take it because an instruction actually already came, that this is not for children. Theirs will come later." So, some of those things, and I'm sure on a normal day you won't think about these things. Hi Frances, it's good to have you here, thank you. And there are things that we don't think about, but there are things that are very valid. Whenever you think about them, you will find out that when you become intentional about your parenting, you will know, you will begin to think about a lot of things that you do, the standards that you need to take. So if I had encouraged my children to go ahead and take those food, what have I done? I've actually, taught them indirectly not to listen to authority. No matter how little it is we think it is, these things have effect on who our children become. Small words here and there, one thing, here and there. There's a book written by one of us here, Eminem, called Manners and Poise. You should actually also get it for your children. My daughter was reading it one of those days, and she said, so it means that even a little lie, even a little keeping your face a certain way when you're having conversations with people actually mean a lot. Yes, they do. And children need to be taught about them. So, of course, like I said, that this is an online, I run an online parenting academy, and I believe that in the face of our decaying society, that we can have a better, society by raising better people. So if we are determined and if we take to this, I bet you, every one of us, all hands on deck. Hi, sir. I can see my boss here coming online, and I'm loyal, sir, Mr. Kirobo. All right, so he's also somebody you should follow, an amazing person in the parenting space, doing amazing job. I'm happy you're joining me, sir. Thank you. So, like I always say, I've had this privilege of speaking and working with a lot of parents, a good number of them. And through these interactions, I have come to realize that despite most of the good intentions that parents have, they end up doing things that confuse their children. They end up doing things that annoy their children. They end up doing things that anger and frustrate their children. Somehow, you find them just doing things that are not, things that they want. Hi, Margaret. It's good to have you here. All right. So, most of the times, you will ask, how do I know this? I've been there myself. So, in my book, Connect to Correct, I also shared how a lot about my journey, my experiences on this path, where in my mind, hi Foma from Maryland, hi, it's good to have you here. So, in my mind, and I'm really excited a lot of people are here. Thank you for logging on. In my mind, and many of the times, I was just, having this thing that I'm doing a good job, I must be doing it right. But something didn't seem right at some point. And I needed that, I was sure that at that point I needed to do something differently, which was what set me on this journey. Believe you me, I wasn't even going to do parenting coaching as anything that I do. I've said it severally, I have a day job, but there was a lot of pressure from parents that I have coached casually, on the side. And they are like, people don't know these things you say. And running this group for quite some time now, I've come to realize, hey, I see you, sir. I've come to realize, that people really do not know what to do. So I kept assuming that, oh no, I'm sure people are learning as I'm learning, but a lot of the time somebody needs to raise, the ball. So well, I'm talking about emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is a measure of an individual's ability to recognize, to manage their emotions. I say it a lot of the times. Um, um, Being someone who has been through the path of not being able to manage her emotions at some point in her life, I know what I'm saying. You cannot parent effectively without being able to manage your emotions effectively. Hi, Amara. Hi, everyone. I can see you. Without being able to manage your emotions effectively, what that does is that you are just everywhere. You won't be able to do things the way they should be done because you don't have a grasp of who you are to start with. And like I say all the time, I have been there when people say, oh, how do you know that you'll be able to do this? I have walked this path. And I tell you, there is no other path. I get a lot of queries, people asking me every day, what can I do? What can we do? Oh, how can we, stop parenting in this way and all that? And one of the major things I say a lot of the times is that we need to work on ourselves. One of the first things I wrote in the book, and that was one of the first things I learned about parenting, is that parenting is about you, not your child. Parenting is about you, not your child. All right. So when you recognize that parenting is about you and not the child. So a lot of times people parents just say, oh no, that child, he did this one. Oh, I can't take it. Oh, the child is so stubborn. Oh, this child is this. But it's about you. It's not about the child. Hi, Amen. You are here late. I had already spoken about your book at some point. All right, welcome here. So it's been your ability to manage your emotions, the emotions of other people, both individually and in a group. And I tell you the truth, if you are not able to manage your own emotions, how do you begin to recognize and manage your child's emotions? So you agree with me that there's a lot about you when it comes to parenting another person. So I wrote an article last year and I said, when it comes to parenting, it's your ability to think that there is nothing wrong with the child. There is everything wrong with me, the adult. So if you think parenting is tough, then you need to learn parenting as a skill, because it's something we sit back, we blame children for being children, unfortunately so. But children are never going to change. You're never going to have an adult. You're never going to have an adult as a child. When you do, I'm sure you're going to get worried. A child is going to be a child. The point is, are you being that adult who is supposed to actually, work at raising another adult? Because that's the point. So the term emotional intelligence actually first appeared in 1964. Okay, so by paper by Michael Bottoch. Of course, if you read through all that, before Daniel Coleman, who is the master of emotional intelligence, now took it up in 1995, and he indicated that EI, that's emotional intelligence, accounted for 67% of the abilities deemed necessary for superior performance in leaders and mattered twice as much as technical expertise or IQ. Have you ever wondered that while in school, there were a lot of people who were not as smart? They were not the smarties. But now that everybody is all grown, they are doing so well. And you're wondering, okay, you know, you, what happened to me? But me, I'm really smart. You know, what happened to me? But these guys are able to, perform better, succeed because they had something extra, not just IQ. Have you also wondered why some of the guys in your class who had made the first class couldn't really do so much apart from just, what? So your IQ is not enough. There's actually much more. So emotional intelligence in simple terms means perceiving your emotions, understanding your emotions, managing your emotions, and using your emotions. That's basically what emotional intelligence talks about. All right, perceiving your emotions, understanding your emotions, managing your emotions, and using your emotions. So in clear terms, in short terms, that's what emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence is just about these four factors. So why does it matter more than IQ, you ask? Because I have said that it mattered twice as much. So why does it matter? There have been studies that show that IQ only accounted for 20% of success stories that we know. So your child's IQ is good, but your child's emotional intelligence is key to his success. So people with well-developed emotional intelligence, emotional skills, they're actually more likely to be content and effective in their lives, mastering the habits of mind that foster their own productivity. So people who cannot, marshal out some control over their emotions, they fight battles all the time to sabotage their own ability to focus on work and clear thought, because they are always, at every point in time, you see them struggling. This was a quote by Daniel Coleman, the emotional intelligence master. You should check him out, right? So AI has greater impact on success than other factors. I will explain. Your IQ only accounts for 20% of success in life. Your emotional intelligence and social intelligence are much greater determinants of success you will achieve in life. Many times, like I said, I have seen parents, you know, talk about IQ, but I have also realized that people who have emotional intelligence, social intelligence actually fare better. Think about it. Think about the people around you. Think about the people you know and the people who are calmer in situations, who are able to manage their emotions better. Think about it and think of how successful and how that have played in the success part for them. The ability to delay gratification is a primary indicator of future success. I shared something on my wall the other day and I said the ability to delay gratification is key to the 21st century child. Delayed gratification is top predictor of future success. People who are able to overcome instant gratification, they pay the price today so that they can delay rewards tomorrow. That's what delayed gratification is. And without emotional intelligence, you will not be able to teach delayed gratification. You will not even have delayed gratification because you're emotionally unstable. So things get you get carried away with things around you in life. High EQ leads to healthy relationship with others. This I know because immediately I was able to work on my emotions. It was a clear-cut, thing that my relationship with everybody became a lot more better. Parents that I have coached over the years come back to me and say, what you've been able to do is not just about, me being able to quit yelling, use discipline that work, do the things that really work with my children. It has also helped my relationship with my spouse. So your ability to manage your emotions is going to help you all around. Your family, your friends, everyone around you. So our emotional skills are directly linked to our relationship with others. When we become emotionally intelligent, when it teaches us, what it teaches us is that we understand our feelings, where our feelings come from, how to properly express them. Then we're able to maintain healthier relationship. So most of the times my friends will say, oh, you don't talk when things, emotions are all thrown around. I don't because I have come to realize that at those points you might not be able to make a point that is valid. You might be able to convey the same information in less, when you are in control of who you are, yourself and everything. Your messages get passed on easily. I've told parents most of the times that you can actually live with someone, your spouse, your children, and not have to fight. I am telling you, it's possible, but you need to work on you. I was watching a video by Will Smith and a program Will Smith and his wife, and where they were sharing that they didn't use swear words, they didn't have an argument, that was vicious, um, um, for 20 years that they were married before they had their issue the 21st year. 20 years? That's a lot. But do you know one of the things that they shared that caught my attention? They said something in that video. They said it didn't come easy. We put in work in our communication skills. We decided to learn communication. They said they kept learning communication skills. They went for classes just for communication skills. I tell you, these things don't come on us. They don't jump on us. They are learned. I was listening to hi David, good to have you around. I was listening to Michelle Obama in her interview one of those days, and she was talking about her parenting skills, her children, the way they've been raised, and she said something. She said we took parenting classes. It didn't come easy. Obama and I decided that we were going to make this thing intentional. And we took it, we went head on. In fact, they said at some point for years, they hired a coach who was, making them get on their toes to be able to get this done. Sometimes we actually think we know what exactly we should be doing, but sometimes we just need someone to be able to nudge us, to be able to teach us, and all that. Everything you see that is good is built on, is worked on. So most of the times you see people have amazing relationships, you're wondering, what happened? They put work in it. You see parents have amazing relationship with their children. It didn't come by wishes. They put work in it. So that's what I'm saying. Emotional intelligence helps you actually be able to, think about your relationship and work on your relationship. Emotional health has impact on physical health. So studies have shown that 80% of our health problems are stress related. So I tell parents most of the time, I say, you yell, you shout, you scream, you bring down the house, you're working yourself up. And there's a lot of disadvantages to what you're doing to yourself. So one of the things that, hi, oh Stephen, you're watching from Port Harcourt. Good to have you. One of the things that we we must understand is that stress breeds a lot, so much, so much in us. Stress. So we need to be able to work on our stress level. And I tell you, if you're emotionally stable, your stress level is going to crash. I was telling someone the other day that I don't think I have my stress level. I work 24 hours sometimes, and sometimes I still wake up to it looking very good, because I've also been able to manage my emotions. I don't throw my emotions out there, or throw it on the children, or throw it on my husband when I'm stressed. Because I've been able to recognize, I've been able to work on it and know what it takes. I haven't always been like this. Let me be sincere with you. I worked on myself. I took classes myself. I did a lot, to be able to come here. Hi, Selena from Ghana. Oh, good to have you. Hi, Eminem. Thank you for that. So, another thing that emotional intelligence, there is a link between poor emotional skills and criminal behavior. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but there is. So, children who have poor emotional skills can be a challenge. They may become the class bullies. The other day we had Dr. Uche come to talk to us about bullying. It's a crazy circle. And I said something on my wall the other day. I said, do you think your child is not the bully? Have you asked yourself as a parent, are you a bully? Do you bully your children and expect they won't bully others? Most times it's a cycle. It's a circle. People who get bullied actually end up bullying others. It's a circle. So most times, we say, oh, oh, it's not always like that. Check it very well. You will see that these things we pick them, we might not like them, but parenting is reflective. Why do you think we all do most of the things that our parents did? Funny, right? Even the things you didn't like. Yes, funny, yes, but that's what it is. People end up behaving like their parents consciously or unconsciously. So most of them react with fists. Children who are not emotionally stable react with their fists. I was having a conversation with some parents who were, around for a coaching session, and they were saying something about their son being. One of them said something about their son being a bully. you know, Hi, Paul from Calabar, good to have you. Hey, Wanchuku from Lagos, good to have you. All right. So, and while I was looking, I was listening to this parent saying that the son, bullies people and all that. I said, what kind of disciplinary measure do you also use? Do you bully him? She was quiet for a while. But that's the truth. When we assess ourselves, we find out that most of the things that our children become, we actually give them the power to become. I was having a conversation with a parent, and I said that my 9-year-old son can lift me up. Shocking, yes? Yes. He has that amount of strength. So imagine if I bully that kind of person. Oh, he's going to be in fact, I don't even know, I don't even want to think of it. In fact, there's a strict instruction that he does not raise his arm on anyone. Very strict. I say he lifts me up. So you understand when I say he has an extra strength. High blessing from Enugu. All right. So he has an extra strength. So imagine us bullying him. That guy is going to end up bullying you somehow, bullying the people, his mates. So sometimes people actually, try to, shoulder up with him, and then he looks at them and then passes and then smiles. Because we've been able to understand, teach him that you can't use your fists to actually settle issues. They are deliberate. They are things you teach deliberately. So some of this, hi, I'm from Lagos. Kai, good to have you. So some of them also have poor attention problems. They don't listen because they are not emotionally stable. It's a problem. They are frustrated in class. They are They've not been able to learn the ability to just, listen to whatever it is that is being said. It's a fundamental thing. So it has a lot to do with grooming your emotional intelligence. All right. Poor performance in school can also be as a result of having poor emotional skills. Poor performance is which may even lead to making friends of people in the same kind of boat. So of course that makes them, look at themselves in a certain way, all right, and that also, takes a lot of it down. So the path to crime starts really early in life. While there is no doubt that there is family environment, there's family, there's environment, there are strong contributors, we know that. But the common reason most, times people actually commit crimes that they lack social and emotional skills. And so it becomes very pertinent that, we teach our children, the ability to use their emotional skills. I'm sure at this point you're thinking, what does it take to develop my child's emotional skills? What does it take? It takes nothing. The simple answer is that it takes you. You will need to develop your emotional intelligence first before you teach your child. Like I often say, you cannot give what you don't have. So if you as a parent, you're expecting your child to just all of a sudden become perfect because you are a parent and he's a child, sorry, it doesn't work that way. I am here to bust your bubble. It does not work that way. I shared how I was in a salon the other day, and a parent just felt that its daughter was making a lot of noise, and my daughter felt it was such a loud noise in a public place. And while we were there, the mother went straight to the children to just go and shout them down. You needed to see the yelling. It wasn't up to 10, 20 minutes. The children went back to yelling and shouting all over the place. Again, you can't give what you do not have. You're expecting your children to behave a certain way when you are that other way. It becomes a problem, a real problem. So as a parent, do you resort to hitting your children at the slightest error? Is this frustrating you? I get this query almost every day where we are working. We have a lot of parents. The truth is that parenting in the 21st century is hard for you, the parent, and hard for the child. Do you know why? There's a lot happening in the 21st century. There's a lot that we want to, put, together as individuals. The resources, everything is tough. And again, for the child, it's tough. Whenever people say, oh, my parents raised us the same way, they didn't have to learn, I just look at them and I shake my head. The kind of vices we're dealing with in the 21st century was nothing close to what we had growing up. You could, shout on a child, move them, make them have low self-esteem, and they just walk away and just die inside. Now, it is not the same. That child will go find drugs. Let me tell you, that child will go and find drugs to make himself feel better. I have seen 9-year-olds addicted to drugs. Parents, I have seen a lot. 9-year-olds addicted to drugs. Some of them, their parents do not know. I was at an event with Tia Adekunle, one of us also on this forum. She runs a boys, mentoring forum. And I was at that event and I saw young boys, very young boys, who, they were sharing, were talking about addiction. 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds. 9-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds. Please, let us take heed now. It's not the same. Like I wrote in Connect to Correct, the internet is a game changer. It's a game changer because the internet has actually changed a lot. And I told you, if you're saying, oh no, my children are not exposed to internet, or they don't know anything about the internet, you're living in a bubble. Because the truth is, these children see these things even before you can think of it. I was counseling my friend's daughter on sex education. She was 9, and I asked her, "What do you know about sex? Have you ever seen sex?" She said, "Yes, I've seen it on a phone in school, where a dog and a woman was having sex." That's what she has seen: a dog and a woman. Her parents don't allow her get on the phone and get on the internet, but she saw it. Sorry about that. I think I got cut off. I think my network. So our best bet is to equip these children. So if you are feeling frustrated, then you need to work out, not work on you. If you're measuring your success as a parent by the quality, by the effectiveness of how you control your child, and not the quality of relationship you have with your child, then there's a problem. You need to work on you. You need to work on you. If you don't recognize that you are responsible for your children, not just for them, and you need to work on you. If you get so angry that you see yourself many times overreacting, I tell you, sometimes our reactions are extreme as parents, and for that pushes, a lot of the time pushes our children out, and then pushes them to doing some things and then misbehaving as well. You need to work on you. Do you find yourself saying words like, you don't find yourself saying words like, "I am proud, I believe in you, you can do it"? You think these words are easy. I've seen parents that said to me that they can't do these things, they can't see them. And I'm in shock. Say things that, "I love you, I'm there for you, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Will you forgive me?" A parent told me that why would she tell her son that she was wrong? For what? That is going to, bring down her authority. Whoa. Thank you. What do you think? A lot of these things are key. So, we're also going to be launching. So for that, we launched the course for this quarter, Becoming the Emotionally Intelligent Parent. We had a lot of that last year. It was amazing. People shared testimonies. Most of my followers are the people who have taken this course. There are people here watching me who have enrolled for the quarter. We're launching it every quarter now because I have so much on my decks. I have so much on my plate. Last year we did it every month, and it was awesome. People had results and all that. So if you're looking for how to enroll, you can chat me up. Course is from 7th to 10th of March and cost 7.5. We've closed the early bird this, and I think we have only 3 slots remaining. We're taking only 20 people. We've closed the early bird slots, and then we're only taking 20 people for this time because that's the much we can manage for now. So like I said, parenting is a noble calling. It's something that we all need to stand up to do. I'm going to be taking questions just a few 10 minutes before it's 5 o'clock because I'm supposed to be here just for an hour. I have a meeting in a few minutes. So in an hour, I would just want to hear if you have questions that you need me to respond to. I will respond to you. And then I will also be sending the link for you to get the ebook that I promised. The ebook is basically on what I have spoken about. I know that a lot of us will want to have something, to read through. It's my gift, my Valentine gift from me to you. It's something I had prepared last year to actually share, but didn't have time to put it together. I've been able to put it together. It's an awesome book. You will enjoy reading it. So if there's any questions, let me look at the people that have chatted before. What you have is enough for you, only if you can think enough. Thanks for your lecture. More grace to your elbow. Thank you, Steve Obaje. Agozie said, "Right done, Wendy. So proud of you." Thank you, Agozie. Thank you for being here. Mary Bette, "I'm late. Hi. Oh dear, so sorry. You can look through and still get the information. Somebody said, "I'm yet to be a parent, but I'm enjoying this view from Lagos." Thank you, Ami. Thank you for this. I really wish that some of the things I knew it before I got married, really. Thank you for being here. Mwachiko said he's viewing from Lagos. Thanks for the good work you're doing. Blessing Best. Blessing Best is doing a lot for the single people. You know, relationship. I follow her on Facebook. Amazing woman. She's done so much for someone who is young and single. You know, says something. You know, says talks about a lot about parenting relationship, marriage relationships before getting into marriage and all that. And it's really been amazing. Thank you for joining here. Ekwo, thank you from Calabar. Mwachuku from Lagos, thank you. Wenga Bamidele, see Lolo. Thank you, ma'am. Yetunde Mongaji, I can see everybody logging on. So I'm still waiting for the questions if there is any. If there is none, I can begin to log out and then um, take my leave. I'll share the link, like I said, for the book on this same video so that we can all get the book. Hi Kachi, and my boss is here. Good to have you. Thank you so much. I'm learning more from you. I always extend my learnings to my team. And Marachi, thank you, and thank you for subscribing. I know you're one of the people that is taking the course for this quarter. I'm sure you're going to. Okay, so I'm sure you're still going to have a lot to teach your team that you've. Sorry, I think I had my network interrupted again. I'm sure you're going to have a lot to teach your team as when it comes to parenting this. Thank you for joining Eninem. Thank you. I talked about Eninem's book, amazing book for children. Please contact her and get those books for your children. I took 10 copies myself and distributed around here for my friends. An amazing book. My daughter and my son read it, and it has impacted so much. The little things that we don't look at it as anything. It's called Manners and Poise. Amazing book, really. So I will encourage anything to make this journey easier. Anything to get us to where we're going. All right, it's what it is. Yes, Mary Beth, course is online. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Course is online, totally online. We are going to be using video classes, live sessions, question and answer access to me, group coaching sessions, workbooks, and a lot of review assessments that we usually use to be able to get results. And it's one of those courses that I was inspired to launch last year March, and I tell you, it's been amazing. The people who have taken this course will also share with you. I have a good number of parents who have taken this course, about becoming an emotionally intelligent parent. So, yes, course is online. Everything is all set for you. All you need to do is come and share the testimony. All right, so I don't know if there's still any other question. Ahon, I see you watching. Good to have you. I'm sure we'll have more time at the course. I know you're enrolled for the course. So we'll have more time at the talks to talk about a lot of these things and a lot of bugging questions. Can you recommend books on in emotional intelligence? Yes, look out for Coleman and look out for his books. He's written so much when it comes to emotional intelligence. In fact, he's the father of emotional intelligence. So I have a lot of his books myself. I read quite a number, of his books. So get online, get his books. They're on Amazon. Get his name is Daniel Coleman. Coleman, Goleman. That's his name. You can learn so much from those his books as well. So I think so. I don't know if there's any more person um looking to. I have till 5 o'clock here. Hey, Daddy Francis, good to have you, sir. So, sometimes you just see one. I've seen one of my parents here online. So I'm saying hi, sir. So it's good to have everybody join me this evening. It's been interesting. I think I'm going to also try and do a lot more of the video classes to also impart. I used to do a lot, but I'm going to try and do once every week this time so that we'll be able to also get a lot of information about parenting. It's just for us to be deliberate. It's just for us to work, at the skills that we have and build it up. So parenting is about being able to show, teach and transfer skills. But the problem most of the times is that we don't have those skills to teach and transfer. I'm glad to meet everyone here. I'm happy. I've seen family, I've seen friends, I've seen cousins, I've seen acquaintances, I've seen followers, I've seen fans, I've seen the connect to correct parents, a lot of them, here, and all the group members of the intentional parent. Thank you very much, everybody. I like what I saw today, so I guess I will still come back to come and talk more. Thank you for the engagement. If you still have your questions, you can drop them. I will answer them. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate.